Welcome into episode 38 already of JD's Empire Sports Talk. I know last episode we talked about the Mets. We're going to switch it up a little bit here today as the Knicks have won their first round series against the Detroit Pistons. That was a hell of a series, let me tell you. I mean, I think that people knew that the Pistons were going to give the Knicks trouble just based off of the regular season when the Knicks only beat them once and they struggled a lot. Um, Especially at the Garden. I don't know why they had trouble at home against them, but they did. But in Detroit, the Knicks take care of business. I mean, they won three nail biters, though. They really had us stomachs turning and all that stuff, the nerves that comes with the team being in the playoffs and being so close to. I mean, they could have easily lost, and they could have lost last night, and that could have been the series would have been over in the sense of they won three road games by 3 points or less. And I think that's where the experience came through. And it was just great. It was great to see. Game one, we saw the Knicks come back. I think honestly was setting the tone of the series. I know that they lost two games that they shouldn't have, but going to Detroit and they didn't care about the crowd. The crowd was trying to intimidate, I guess. The Knicks are used to that. And someone like Brunson, before I get into how, I mean, he was just terrific, of course, the entire series, but just his demeanor. He didn't let anything bother him at all. First game in Detroit, he couldn't even take up the ball without getting booed. Didn't bother him. Then they screaming flopper or whatever they want to say. Didn't bother him one bit. And when he was asked about it in like press conferences after every game in Detroit, he was like, "Oh, what'd they say? I didn't even hear that." I mean, that shows how he's just more he's just more mature than everybody. Of course, when you're in the league for a while, that's exactly what's going to happen. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of for this Knicks team. I obviously was very nervous throughout the entire series. I wasn't afraid that they were going to lose, but I was like, oh come on, we can't let this go 7 games. Because even if we get through this series, then we have to go play Boston on 1 day rest. That's not going to work. I was really hoping for them to win in five at home, but they weren't able to do that. There was a few questionable decisions in that game. I think we can in a little bit break down each game and how that went, but for last night's game, Brunson, man, he's becoming a top five player right before our eyes in the entire NBA. I think he's the best point guard in the entire Eastern Conference at this point. Stack him up against whoever you want. I'm taking Brunson. Most clutch player in the league. He won that award this year, and he showed it last night. Going out there and just, I mean, the 40 points, the double teams, taking over 30 shots. Thompson being like this close to his face every 2 seconds, and he took it and was like, all right, guys want to keep doing that? I'm just gonna keep scoring, and that's exactly what he did. And I think that the team needs to kind of rally around him in the sense of, yeah, they have the energy and all that, but the production needs to. They need to if they want to have any chance. I get into this too in a little bit. They want to have any chance against the Celtics. They need to raise their game. And that's just the truth of it. You're gonna be happy. You could be happy they won the first round in 6 games. They should have won that in five or maybe 4 games. If you look at the talent of the rosters, stack up Detroit's roster with the Knicks. Kate Cunningham's, yes, he's a terrific player, but the rest of that team, they don't scare you. And I think that was the problem. It was like they're not a great team. They just do they do the little things right. They know how to get under team's skin, but I don't think they did that against the Knicks. JB Bickerstaff as a coach, that guy is a clown. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's a moron in the sense that he's just complaining every call. The more you complain, you're not gonna get anything going to go your way when it's close. And I don't know if he understood that. And I mean, maybe he'll learn from that. But I don't care about that. Good for him. He wanted to keep complaining all series that you're not gonna get those calls and it's gonna go the Knicks way. But they definitely need someone to step up consistently every game. Because yes, Cat was good for probably they played 6 games. He was probably good for half of them, maybe four. But I know two that come to mind right away where he was non-existent. The first loss at home and last night. I know he fouled out, but he played a decent amount of minutes and he could not get himself into that game. You're the big guy. You got to demand the basketball. Like I don't understand why that's like an issue with him. I know it's been like that for a little bit of his career with Minnesota and stuff like that. But you gotta want the ball. I know you can make all those sick 3 pointers and stuff like that, but you gotta want to take it inside and do something when you're that big. Um, I think that you got to know your personnel though. Like someone like Mitch Rob is 7 feet tall. You cannot give him the ball inside because he's not going to hold on to it. He's going to fumble it or whatever, and he's going to lose it, turn it over, and that can't be your offense. But when Cat's out there, that's the perfect scenario Let Cat go to work inside. He doesn't even have to score. You can just dish it back out. You have OG in the corner. Brunson's gonna make a three. When Bridges is on, he's on. But that's another thing. He hasn't been on consistently. So I think if Bridges and Cat can play consistent basketball, this team has a shot. How far, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what happens because Celtics they're a challenge. But for now, we'll go back and talk about just Bridges first, and then I want to break down each game, some turning points in the game as well. But Bridges as a whole, last night or last game, he played outstanding. I know that one shot Brunson missed with a little bit of time left. He just hit it with his left hand and got it in. He was told that he crashed the boards, and he was able to do that. And that was huge because they don't make that shot. Detroit gets the ball back and probably milks the time, and it changes whole the whole game right there. But that entire first half and into the second half, I think the second half he got a little tight, and you can tell it seems like he gets a little tight when things are going to crunch time. But overall, with Bridges, though, I think if he's consistent, he shows what he can do. 25 points effortlessly. That's why they traded those first round picks for him because of what he did in his career already. And I don't understand why. It's a little mind boggling to me. Like, I know I've been giving him a lot of hate, and I was like, this guy's got to really step up because it's pathetic. You have 5 first rounders, and the guy can't even make a 3-pointer. But honestly, I don't know what it is. He plays better on the road. Maybe he feels less pressure. I don't know what it is. But first 2 games against Boston are on the road. So hopefully he can take that and be like, oh, I'm going to have the best 2 games of the series. Let's start out hot. I don't know what it is, but that's whatever. But hopefully Bridges can keep that consistency going that he showed in Game 6, bring it into the next series. But as a whole, each game it feels that there was definitely momentum swings. And Game 1 for sure was definitely when Campaign came in that game. He was outstanding. I know he didn't get a ton of minutes after that, but that's what he is. If he's making 1 or 2 3-pointers, you're gonna leave the guy in because of how good he can be over a stretch. And that's what it was. That fourth quarter was huge, and I was very happy that he was able to get the job done. Game 2, they could not score at all. They only had 94 points. The Knicks, Brunson at 37. No one else did anything. That was one of those games I was saying Cat was in foul trouble. Didn't play a lot. Could not get himself into the game. He should never have 11 shots in a 4-quarter game. I'm sorry, he shouldn't. And I think that's what it. That was one of the issues. I know he didn't really trust Mitch as much in that game, but that was game he was throwing great on the boards. He obviously doesn't score, but he was doing terrific on the boards. You got to let the kid roll. They didn't do that. Bridges was okay that game. OG was kind of inconsistent, and then they go to Detroit. It was a day game, I'm pretty sure. That was the oh, I'm sorry, Game 3 against Detroit was not a day game, but they played great. Cat finally asserted himself in that game after a lot of people saying he's got to find more shots, and he almost had double the amount of shots that he took in Game 2, and he took over. Brunson, of course, with his 30 points. He averaged 31 points in the series, so every game he had that. The bench was definitely the most. I think their most effective game, for the most part, was Game 3, and they won that one by 2. That's why I said they squeaked by. Then Game 4 was the day game against in Detroit again, and that was Cat saving the day. Brunson, of course, had 32 points again. Cat saved the day with the shot that was like behind the hoop. I don't know how the hell he made that. That went in, and then Cat made the step back three as well. So those were 2 huge shots. 2 games in a row that he showed something, and they won that one by 1 point. Hart played great in that game, a ton of minutes. OG not great again. Bridges was awful in that game, so thank God they were able to come away with that. And the second half they almost collapsed again. I think that was the theme of the series. They started out so great every game, and then they just downhill. And you're not going to have that ability. You can't do that against a Boston team, or if they advance a Cleveland or an Indiana team. You're not going to be able to do that. They lost the lead, and it was a theme of the series. And then at home, Game 5, they lost. That was when I know I said I would break it down a little bit. And Brunson and Hart both got injured. Brunson rolled his ankle again. I feel bad for the guy. He just continues to just get put in bad spots. I mean, it was no one's fault, but it was just like he just rolled his ankle on the it looked like the floor came up. I don't know how that stuff happens, but thankfully that he was okay to obviously win Game 6. But Game 5, both him and Hart took a wicked fall down on his it looked like his wrist. So they both had to come out for over a minute, and Tibbs had 2 timeouts left, and he didn't want or one whatever it was. I don't care how many timeouts you have left. Your best player is sitting at the scorer's table for over a minute. You got to put him in. You got to call timeout. You got to get him back in the game. campaign inducement out there, and obviously the offense looked stagnant, and they couldn't recover, and they lost. And I really thought I was nervous. I was like, oh, this might be the turning point of the series. Excuse me. And I hope that's not the case because if they lose Game 6, then I'm winning Game 7. And it felt a lot like the Indiana series last year, where they lost that Game 5, injuries, more injuries than they had already. They got worse, and thank God they got through that. And yeah, that's it. They got through 6 games against Detroit. Very hard fought games. Thank God they got 3 days rest now, so they got the weekend to recover. Of course, they traveled home today. Sunday they'll travel to Boston, be ready for that game one. And Boston might be a little rusty. They have a much more extended time off, so hopefully they're rusty and Knicks can take advantage of that. If they can get one in Boston, I'm gonna feel good about that because I know they lost 2 games at home, but I think that home crowd uh, will really help the boys out. And if they could tie it 2-2, 3-1 going back to Boston, I like their chances. And at least they showed heart on the road. All 3 of those games were so close and they won. So I think that's gonna work in their favor. But Monday night, game one, I know the Celtics swept the Knicks in the regular season, but the Pistons also beat the Knicks almost every game. They won. The Knicks won one, and they beat them in the playoffs. So that's a different thing. So hopefully that the Knicks can take that little momentum they had in that last regular season game against the Celtics, where they were fully healthy and they should have beaten them. Just let it get away in overtime. Celtics are a little banged up, so I think the Knicks got to take advantage of that. And that's pretty much it for episode 38. We just want to appreciate everyone once again for watching YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram, giving them all. I know I'm getting a lot of feedback on TikTok. Someone was clowning me for my Shador take, but it is what it is. I'm gonna keep saying it no matter what. So I just want to thank everyone once again, and that's it for episode 38. JD out.